Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to the Darts Review channel. Right, I've got a bit of a long story and it's kind of a little bit complicated, but some time ago I was contacted by a guy called Vidal de la Cruz, I think that's how you say it. Now he's an American but he lives in Korea with his Korean wife and his family, and he's an Asian PDC tour referee, so he referees for the PDC over there. And he also has a site where he sells Cuesoul darts. He's like a Cuesoul distributor, and I don't know if it says it on here. Yeah, it does. There's a little logo there, but you might see it better on the box there. And it's Vice Union, and it's Vice Union Darts Friends. And what he basically does is he helps to bring along players over there, and some of the players he's got sets custom made from Cuesoul, and this is one of the sets. Like I said, it's a little bit complicated, but Cuesoul, for their custom range, it's normally just a one-off set, but sometimes they'll leave them on their site. If people want to buy a set, you can get in touch with Cuesoul and they'll make a set up, but for that reason the price is quite expensive. These are about 115, but it's barrels only, so like I say, it's quite expensive, but that's mainly down to the fact that it's a short run. There may only be about 5 or 6 sets made or whatever at a time. They're not made in the 50s or 100s, so that's why the prices are not cheap. And over there that's probably about a normal price anyway. So this is a soft tip dart, and the player's name is Kim Kirill, and the dart itself is called the Kira Fierce. Now Vidal actually designed this particular dart himself, and he sent me 2 other sets which I'll probably get around to reviewing eventually, but it's very nicely made. But like I say, it's not cheap, but I'll put up a link in the description to the site that he runs in Korea, and I think you can buy them off that site. But like I said, if you get in touch with Cuesoul and you fancy like a steel tip version, they'll probably make them in steel tip, so it really depends whether you like the grip. I think you can do that with a lot of the Cuesoul's custom sets. If you see one that you like, you can ask them to make it in steel or soft tip or a different weight, and that's what they'll do. So like I said, it's a bit of a long story and a little bit complicated. I'm really sure how to explain it to you, but I think that's as best as I can do. So let's check them out. Right, so as mentioned, the 19 gram, 90% tungsten, and they're only in the soft tip, but like I said, if you contact Cuesoul, you can probably ask them to make them in a steel tip version and have them in other weights as well if you like the design. But because of that, it's not cheap. As I mentioned, it's £115 approximately, so there you go. So as mentioned, it's barrels only, but as you can see, it comes in the Cuesoul packaging, and you've got the Cuesoul aluminium case. I do like these cases, they're rather nice, and it's got the Vice Union logo on there. But like I said, just barrels only, so you've got the space for all the other stuff if you want to add to it, but as it's a custom set, and basically they're kind of like short runs, so they're just barrels. Right, because I'm throwing it on a steel tip board, I've just put some steel tip conversion points on, and I've fitted them with the Cuesoul Rost. I think it's the T19. But there you can see the dart. It's kind of like a double tapered style. Now, as it's a soft tip dart, I can put that grippy part at the front if I want, but I think I'll just try them as they are first to see how it is. But like a lot of Asian barrels, they do tend to be geared up for rear grippers. For some reason, that seems to be the most popular style. And although it's got most of that grip there and it is very grippy, there's still a little bit there on the front from that kind of like ring and 2 wide grooves, so I might just try it from there first to see how I get on, and then I'll I'll switch it around and see, but it's got that hope ring in the middle, which is really just for show. It doesn't actually provide any grip, just adds a nice look to it. But that rainbow PVD coating's done very nicely on these, and obviously, like I've shown many times, when you kind of like move it and the light hits it from different angles, you get slightly different shades and colours, but really nice looking barrel. But I think for rear grippers, if you're going to use it how it's set up, you definitely got a good level of grip there. It's kind of like a double thin ring grip with lateral cuts running through it, but there's so many little cuts to it, you just feel it all quite sticky in the fingers actually. So we'll see how that feels to release when I throw it. But there you go, we'll have a super close look at it now. Right, so you've got a tapered front there, and as you can see, it's got them lateral cuts, so you've got some of them going into that taper, and it's got that colourful rainbow PVD coating. And as you move along, you've got a single ring, but quite wide, deep curved grooves on either side, and the lateral cuts are running through it, so that little section is fairly grippy, but probably not enough there for most people, I think. And then as you move along a bit further, you've got the player's name, or the darts name I should say, and then it's got that hope ring, which is kind of like a groove with a resin based glitter effect, so it's really more for show than anything else. And on the rear section is where the main grip is, and it's, if you look closely, you can see kind of like a double thin ring grip with curved grooves. You can just see the curve there, so the sides are kind of raised up, but it's got lateral cuts running through it, so it's like a crisscross section, but all them little tiny edges are fairly grippy, mainly probably because it's new, but I think it should still stay grippy for a while, I think. And once again, you've got that very colourful rainbow coating on it. And then on the very end, you've just got a small smooth section with the Vice Union logo and the Cuesoul name. So that's the super close look at the Kira Fierce darts. So you've got this tapered front, but it's got them lateral cuts running through it, so that's 13.5mm. Then you've got a single ring with wide deep grooves either side, 3.5mm, and then again fairly smooth section with the hope ring, that's 6.5mm. Then the grippy rear section with the kind of a faceted ring grip, 18.5mm, and then a smooth section on the end, 6mm. Length is 48mm and widest is 7.5mm. 19.11 grams, 19.10 grams, and 19.09, and using the setup that I'm going to be using, it's 22 grams. Here's the balance with barrels only, and this is the balance with steel tip conversion points, medium in between short nylon stems and standard flights. So it's quite grippy on that faceted ring grip, so I'd probably say it's about an 8, but might feel more grippy to some. Alright, let's have a few throws with my normal front grip. I might move my grip up a little bit just so I can get it on that ring and groove, so I'll get a little bit of extra grip off it. It's flying through the air quite smooth, but that one was better. I was going to say, but nowhere near the target. That's in the target. I think I caught that one a bit. Ah, and that one followed it. And it doesn't feel too bad there, holding it on them ring and groove. You certainly get a good bit of grip off it. I just have one go right from the very front. It's not a lot of grip there, like, but let's see what it's like. That would be where I'd be normally throwing it from anyway, but it's actually flying through the air really nice and smooth. But I think it's one of them darts, because of the tapers, it's got quite a nice balance around the centre. But I'll just try that rear section, so I don't know how this is going to work. It might stick to my fingers. It is quite grippy and sticky. Actually, again, flying through the air quite nice. Oop, I think that one stuck to my fingers a bit. One last go from there, and then I'll reverse the barrels and see what it's like. So if you're a rear gripper, it's got a nice level of grip, if you like grip, that is. But I think with it being so new, the edges are so sharp that they are a little bit sticky. That might wear off after a bit. I'll pause the video while I'm reversing the barrels. Right, so I've reversed the barrels, and you can do that with any soft tip dart really. And sometimes it may work better, but you don't really know until you've tried it. But that's the good thing with being able to do it. If it doesn't work one way, you can try it the other, and if you're lucky, it will work better that way. I did that with the Target Echoes and actually thought they threw better in reverse. But as it's a player's dart, it's probably more specific to the player, so definitely if you're a rear gripper and you like a lot of grip, it's probably going to be better for you. But it's not flying too bad there in reverse. So I'll leave it there. There's no point in going on, and I don't want to knack up my elbow anymore. So yeah, really nicely made, but like I say, it's expensive, and I think that's mostly just down to the fact that it's kind of still like a custom set. I think he did get a few sets made, but it was probably maybe, you know, just in single or just about double figures. So I think it's a case of, if you wanted a set, they'd probably have to make it, so then it'd be kind of like getting a custom set yourself. But it's a pity that, because I think it's the kind of dart that a lot of soft tippers and rear grippers would certainly like. It looks very nice, the grip is really grippy, so if you're into your high grip darts, then great. And like I say, you can still play it on steel tip if you like a lightweight dart. You just put some conversion points on it, and you can reverse the grip as well, like I just did. So that's the end of the video. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll leave you with the gallery. Happy darting.